Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hello. What's that blood from? Hmm. He's got a little blood on his coat. Is your teeth bleeding again? Hmm? No. Hmm. Okay. Anyways, hello. Thank you for joining. This is Zuri. Isn't he gorgeous? Big boy. Big, 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 big. Big, 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 big. We are actually going to start him right in the tub. Why? Because there's a lot of work to do, and we're not gonna mess around. We're just gonna try and start the process, right? The degreasing treatment is going to, by Groomer's Goop, is going to help pull out a lot of this heavy oil that he produces, which is causing his white coat to stain yellow. So, trying to keep up with that is one of the biggest challenges for some pet owners, right? Mm-hmm. You know how I normally would use pink paw paw on the head. You don't want to do that with a white cat. Why? Because the pink paw paw tends to turn that white coat yellow. No, 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 no. It's an amazing product, right? But yeah, I actually turned a Persian cat yellow with a pre-treatment of pink paw paw all over its body. Oh my god, it was right before Easter too, so cat looked yellow just in time for Easter, right? It looked like a freaking Easter egg. I don't know what to tell the owners. I was not prepared for that because I didn't know that something that pink paw paw did. It's really great for cats. It's just the most amazing degreaser, especially around the head. But no, when it comes to a white coat, yeah, just stick with the Groomer's Goop. One, that Groomer's Goop is going to help pull and lift the yellow, right? It doesn't just degrease, it helps to lift. Anyway, say hi to Zuri. Anyone here? Hello. He's part of our 324 study. If you don't know what that is, we started our own 324 study with a certain pre-treatment. The alphabet is the key code. So just take the alphabet, apply that to 324, and you'll understand exactly what we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Owner was able to notice the difference almost immediately, right? Normally he would be running from his carrier. When he saw his carrier, he was like, eh. When he got into his carrier, he was like, eh. Right? It's almost as if nothing seems to bother him anymore, right? It is an amazing pre-treatment for cats who are at the lower stress levels. Obviously, it wouldn't be effective for really high-stressed cats, right? Mm-hmm. So, he's basically two cats. If you had to groom two cats, right? That's the equivalent of this beautiful big purebred. Mainecoon, is it not? Yep. Yipper. Mainecoon. Zuri. Mm-hmm. He's one of the true, really big ones, right? Yeah. The big purebred ones, right? There's so many different varieties of Mainecoons. This breeder comes from Delaware on a horse farm. Is where this one comes from. Yeah. Oh my god. He's my biggest cat crush, right? There was a time when I actually thought I had fallen madly in love with him. And I'm like, well, how's that possible? He's a cat. Yeah. Alright. Cats do not like water. My cat starts purring when you bring him to the... No, every cat's different. But my cat, he'll actually start purring if you take him to the bath, right? He's a Himalayan. He's right over there. That guy. See him? Quaffing himself. Am I doing this right? Can you see him? That guy. Yeah, he'll actually start purring. That's a wives' tale, right? Here at our salon, we're not a parrot. We're not going to just repeat things that we heard or read on Google. We're actually going to teach and share and show what it is that we actually know, you know, through the course of 15 years and 15,000 cat groomings. We're actually going to share with you what we actually know. We're not going to be a parrot and just repeat things that we've heard, right? Yeah. Waka waka. When you groom cats for 15 years and you've done thousands of them, yeah, so maybe you're using the wrong technique for his bath, right? So sometimes looking for a different technique to do the same thing is all that's required, right? Incorporating a high reward. He's a dog. What would be the high reward treat for a dog? Does anyone know? What do the dog trainers use for a high reward treat when training dogs? Hot dogs, sausages. When have you ever thought to give your dog hot dogs or sausages whenever it was time for him to have a bath? Brewer prospecting. What have you done to encourage your dog? What have you done, brewer, to behaviorally modify your dog to actually like the baiting process? So obviously he doesn't like the technique that's being used. Throw in some hot dogs and sausages and he might have a difference of opinion, right? It's a dog. Yeah. Now my shepherd, when I used to have a shepherd, she didn't exactly like the bath, but she tolerated it, right? Now, all of that oil is going to start to lift. The base color of the oil that cats produce is like a yellow, brick orange. This is yellow. Did you just call this cat it? Zuri is a he, right? Brewer. If you're dealing with a dog like that, well, that's a whole different can of worms, right? Yeah, that's a whole different can of worms. Usually with a dog like that, you're going to the vet, and the standard pre-treatment would be a combination of trazodone and gabapentin, both of which are not sedatives. GABA is an anti-seizure class. Traz is an antidepressant. But the combination of the two helps to block that whole fight or flight thing that your dog is experiencing, right? So there's plenty of options. Don't ignore the power of behavioral modification, right? So if you can teach your dog to associate his bath with hot dogs and sausages, yeah, that's a dog training technique, right? Your dog may not be capable of emotionally to be able to have a bath without a pre-treatment, right? So both of those products have been available for many, many years. You just ask your vet for it. Okay, so back to Zuri, can you see all the yellow that's starting to pull up? Like I said before, you know how I normally use the pink paw pal to degrease the head? You never, ever, 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 ever want to use pink paw pal when trying to pre-treat a white cat. Show us your cat. He's across the salon. I can't see him. I showed him earlier. Zuri is born and bred for perfect temperament, but he is a bit of a sensitive boy. Yeah, a rescue dog? Now, my German Shepherd was never traumatized, right? But, because I had her from the time she was a puppy. But when she would walk into a vet's office, she would literally start convulsing like this, her whole body. And then she would go up to the door and just open it with her mouth to try to leave, right? The fear. She's a shepherd. Shepherds are very highly acute to their surroundings. Female shepherds especially, right? So whatever it is that she was smelling probably in a vet's hospital, dogs can actually smell fear. They can smell pain. They just know it's an overall bad place. They don't want to be being a part of that whole facility, right? Now, if you were to bring your dog to a fear-free facility, they would understand that. And they would know how important it is to keep the scent of their facility neutral, right? Using different various cleaning products, and making sure that the animal's not picking up on anything that's going to cause them to become fearful, right? Yeah. Scent is the #1 form of intelligence for a dog or a cat. So, why we start off each and every cat grooming with a downtime 15 minutes of what? A communication scent called Feline that mimics the actual pheromone that cats produce, right? You can go flush that down the toilet, whoever the Edna channel you are, right? Flush. Doing God's work here, people. Doing God's work. Flush. You don't think I'm doing God's work? Trust me. You think the pet industry is teaching what I'm teaching? Oh no. They don't really give a shit about cats. You know what they did at the last Hershey Pet Expo here in Pennsylvania? You know, one of the biggest pet conventions for dog groomers to further educate themselves. They canceled the all-day cat grooming seminar. No, not needed. Do you know what they replaced it with? Because we all need more ponies and zebras and pink poodles walking down the road. They replaced it with creative dog grooming. You know, with the art forms and paints and colors and techniques. Yeah, because dog groomers need to learn more about that, not how to properly groom and care for a cat, right? Yeah. Aren't they special? Barkley Productions did that. Good old Barkley Productions. No, not needed. We don't need more dog cat grooming seminars. Because after all, it's just a cat. Anything that you teach a dog groomer to do, they're going to be able to automatically just know what to do when there's a cat coming into their salon, really. You know what that's the equivalent of? Learning French versus Russian, right? It's like saying, I'm going to move to Russia, but, you know, I'll be fine. Why? Because I know French. That's what the equivalent is. Dogs and cats are two separate languages, right? Yeah. Two separate languages. Let's try and lift this yellow so you can see what's coming off. I don't know if you can see it or not. You ready? He's like, for what? Cat is digging what you're doing. You're good. Well, he is part of our 324 case study. His owner did wake up 4 o'clock this morning to start giving him a layering of pre-treatment. Yeah. I didn't tell him what to do, the owner. He just took it upon himself to figure out how to pre-treat this guy with an all-natural pre-treatment that you can get over the counter, right? So he woke up at 4. He woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, the owner, to start with the pre-treatment. He wanted to layer it in, so he gave the first treatment. It's 324 oil, right? That you just get online. The bottle is in the link in my profile, themainlion.life. If you just hop onto that, you'll be able to get a hold of a really, really nice quality bottle. But we're gonna try and get 100 cats as part of our 324 study, right? When you put a cat on a pedestal, they usually just sit in balance, right? Oh, hell yeah. But never on a 324 pre-treatment, right? Before today, he was generally good, a little anxious, a little whiny, a little sensitive to certain parts of his grooming. And because he's so big, every once in a while he was prone to a little bit of open mouth pant, which is, you know, something you don't want to mess with. So I doubt very much today he's going to go into that, you know, open mouth pant. If you ever see your cat going into open mouth pant, you just have to stop. You need to just stop. Right? So, but otherwise a really generally good boy, right? A little nervous for travel. So the owner noticed right away how well he traveled this morning. No whining, no crying. So he could tell right away it was already starting to work. So we're hoping to get about 100 cat clients on board to do our study, so we can just learn a little bit more about the product. Because, you know, your veterinarians aren't going to talk to you about it. They're not allowed to. Right? It's not that they don't want to, they're just not allowed. You know who's telling them to shut up? Can anyone guess why veterinarians aren't allowed to talk to you about the 324 products? I've said this before on this channel, but I wonder if anyone here actually knows. You won't believe it. Now, the president in the office did change some of the laws regarding the 324 products. So I just wonder if that is going to affect the policy these vets have right now regarding not being able to talk to you about it, right? Maybe. He looks angry. All right, so there you have it. Pixel says he looks angry. Pixel, you're projecting. You know what that means? That means you're the one who's actually angry, and you're projecting that anger onto what you see, right? That's what's happening. In case you didn't know, don't you know? In case you didn't know, don't you know? The most chill, laid-back cat you'll ever meet in your life. He looks angry. Oh, because Pixel is projecting. Pixel, why don't you look at yourself in the mirror? Why don't you look at yourself in the mirror, Pixel? Tell me if you see an angry face looking back at you. And get back to me. Yeah, okay. What was your first clue? You know, you can tell from a cat's body language whether a cat is annoyed or pissed. So why don't you back up the statement with facts? Oh God, we're talking to a 12-year-old. There you have it. There you have it. It's the weekend. No, I just want people who are making statements to back it up. When you see a cat, you can usually tell through their ears, their body language, whether they are pissed or upset, right? So I'm asking Pixel, but you know, apparently Pixel's 12. Pixel's 12, so obviously Pixel doesn't really know what she or he is talking about because she's 12, right? But if you were a little older, you might be able to back up that statement by producing facts, like because of the way the ears are positioned, or the way the cat is reacting, or the way the cat is positioning themselves, right? You'd be able to back up that statement. But there's nothing that's happening to back up your theses that the cat is pissed, right? Nothing. There's nothing. Right? And usually when people come on here and make false statements and they can't back it up, we kind of go poof, be gone. But because you're 12, we're going to give you a free pass, okay? Mm-hmm. Waka waka. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I just said I gave the 12-year-old a pass, so now you need to shut the fuck up, right? Oh my God. No, anyone who comes on to this channel and makes false statements without being able to back it up, yeah. You think that this comment section is conducive to cat grooming? No, it's not. So you can all just zip it. Do you think what you're doing is conducive to a nice, calm cat grooming for the cat? No. You're part of the problem. So, poof, be gone. Okay? You're more than welcome to watch. But do not come on here and disrupt this cat's beautiful, calm cat grooming. Right? And when we do turn the comment section back on again, and if you are going to make any kind of false statements, you need to back it up. And if you can't back it up, you're going to be deleted off this channel, right? Because the last thing we want to do is spread misinformation regarding cat grooming. We are trying to correct all of the misinformation that is out there regarding cat grooming. So the last thing we want to do is be a part of the problem, right? Now, I suggest you keep scrolling and go find yourself a cooking channel or something that you can be a part of. Probably something that you know something about where you can be a part of that conversation and add to it, right? And be a benefit to society instead of a menace, right? You be a benefit to society, right? Go find a cooking channel. Oh, I don't know, maybe fishing or gaming, you know, something that you like or something that you know a little bit about, right? Yeah, why don't you do that? All right, all of that Grooming goop has been sitting there processing, so now we're gonna rinse it all out. The big boy. He gets how much he weighs. Oh, we'll turn the comment section back on so we can get the answers. All right, who wants to take a guess at how much this cat weighs? Let's say anywhere from 20 to 40 pounds. Who wants to take a guess? 16, oh no, 40, no. 16's too low, 40's too high. Lisa and Jengo. Yeah, he's about 32 pounds, so you're both right. Jengo and Lisa. All right, he's about 32 pounds. He's a big boy. Let's see if we can turn him around. Yee. And get all this groomer scoop out. Yee. Waka waka. Waka waka. He's like, not so fast. Uh-oh. Alright, so did you overexert yourself there, buddy? When you see a cat doing that, it's going to be one of two things. Either the temperature is too hot or the cat is stressed, related to obesity. So now we need to determine which one it is. So even with that 324 pre-treatment, it's not going to stop his propensity, is that the right word? His propensity to go into open mouth pens. I think the temperature's just fine. I don't think it's bad. Right? But when you have a cat this size, you never want them to exert themselves. Right? So you do everything you can to keep them calm. Right? What's the perfect storm in cats? Stress, age, and obesity. If you combine all three, that is the perfect storm. She is a he. Now, if you're going to come on here and make statements that are false without backing it up, you will be deleted. You are more than welcome to ask questions, to learn, right? But to come on here and make statements as though you know what the fuck you're talking about, you're gonna go. You gotta go, right? Yeah. You gotta go bye-bye. You gotta go bye-bye. No. This comment section is a joke. So, goodbye. If you came here to see a cat mauling a cat groomer, and that's your form of entertainment for your Saturday, yeah, that's not going to happen here. So maybe keep scrolling. Maybe you'll find another live cat groomer. What are the chances of you finding another live cat groomer on YouTube? What are the chances of that happening? Pretty much a 0 to none, right? Yeah, but yet you want to treat me like that? I don't think you appreciate me. Nope. And I think we're talking to more than one 12-year-old is what's happening. Because it's the weekend and school is out. They love you. Yay. The comment section reflect that. Alright, let the first lather begin. Wash, rinse, repeat. We're doing the degreasing shampoo first. What is the best degreasing shampoo for cats in the cat grooming industry? F&T by Ray Pooch. And then I add to that a shampoo called Filthy Beast, just to give it a little bit of extra lather. And it is the perfect degreasing shampoo for cats, right? And it smells divine. It smells divine. Waka waka. Waka waka. How you doing, Zuri? He's like, I'll be alright. Getting ready for the big snowmageddon tonight. We're in the 15 to 35 inch category. Yay. Hello. Yummy. Can we get you to turn over that way? Let's see if all the children went bye-bye. Maybe they're all playing, oh, I don't know, baseball or doing something fun with their lives instead of sitting in the mommy's basement trolling someone's content. Let's see. The comment section is turned back on. Hopefully the children have found something better to do with themselves, right? My cat George was 40 pounds of joy. He loved the sink being on getting him wet. He's a handsome dude. Cool. 40 pounds? That's a big cat. 40 pounds? Dang. Wow. Wowza, wowza, wowza. You had a 40-pound cat? Holy moly. What did you feed it? My God. All right, and rinse. Here we go. Now the last time we did this, oh, you're so funny, David. David's trying to make a funny. Everybody, cue the laugh track. What an odd question. The question was, how do you know when a cat has had enough food? Oh gosh. Cats and dogs will tend to self-regulate. Wow. Oh, I'm not worried about anything. I just have a zero tolerance level. So people who want to come on here and make statements, right? There's nothing stopping anyone from actually clarifying and asking a question. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. But to come on here and make statements that in your mind are true, but are completely false. I have a zero tolerance for that. Just saying. Zero tolerance. Alright. Who knows what I'm doing right now besides turning the cat blue? What is the purpose of this? Anyone? Anyone? Who knows what the purple is? You think it's some kind of dye? You think it's some kind of dye? No. It's actually natural from a plant. But do you know what the plant is? No. It's a process, right? Bing, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's called ginseng violet, and it will help to lift that white. So the first beauty treatment was to use the groomer scoop because that helps to lift the yellow. And then the second step is the optical brightening, right? So what we're trying to do is just lift that yellow, and that yellow is coming from the heavy oil that he produces. Because he's a white cat, that heavy oil is starting to stain his coat yellow, right? I have my earbuds out of my head right now because I can't hear myself think. So have at it, people. Oh, here we go. Now you did it. Goodbye. Had enough of you. Bye-bye. Enough. Kids can't figure out what to do. It's too cold to play outside, I guess. Why don't you get ready for your snowmageddon? Make sure your sleds are in order and, you know, get ready for the huge snowfall we're going to get. Alright? Why don't you do that? So sitting in your mommy's basement trolling someone. Okay? I can promise you it's going to be a lot more fun. Alright. Now that is 2 to 3 minutes when you're using that optical brightening. That's what I do. Ready, steady, here we go. Whee! Whee! If you're working with a purple ginseng violet shampoo, you gotta make sure you rinse it all out, especially if you're trying it on a pure white cat. You know where a lot of that collects? Underneath their paws. So if you don't look under their paws, sometimes that rinse water will collect and pool, and you'll have purple paws underneath, right? Because yes, it will tint the cat's coat purple if you leave it in too long or if you don't properly rinse it out, right? I'm going to have to try the Pink Paw Bling Bling to see if I can't get this to lift. I'll probably do that for another grooming. Maybe his next grooming, right? There you have it. Okay. This is the never-ending grooming, just so you know, FYI. Okay. Let me get you down. Step down. 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 Is that too high for you? He's like, I'm scared. It's 8 inches, buddy. But I'm scared. Dude, you're a cat. No, I'm too high. It's too high. Alright, let's go that way. Try it that way. He's like, I'm scared. Seriously? Are you kidding me? You're a cat. No, it's too high. Alright. He's a big baby. He's a big baby. In you go. In you go. In you go. There you go. That'll fit him. That'll fit you. We're going to do a submersive bath now. One that fits most of him. That little pink bath that I have is too small for him. Here, park your ass. Park your ass. That's it. Good boy. Good boy. Waka waka. He's like, what's happening now? Your final finishing shampoo. Yeah. We're going to use the Chris Christensen Top Hat. That's a really awesome shampoo. I use that on my own cat. Just keep that running. Put that in there. Get that running. Alright, so this is his stay. That's his finishing shampoo. Top Cat volume. Right? You can get that on Amazon. And all of the pet grooming warehouses usually carry it. Waka 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 waka. Waka 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 waka. For anyone out there who's trying to compare what it is that I do to a $10 drive-through car wash for pets, yeah. When you get your car wash, do you take it to a $10 car wash or do you go to a detailing shop, right? The price would be different too, wouldn't it? The quality of the work would be different too, wouldn't it? So stop comparing what it is that I do to your $10 drive-through car wash that you normally get at a pet grooming facility with dog groomers who have no actual training in cat grooming. You've all been behaviorally modified to expect little for your cat. Because the littlest effort is given to grooming cats when it comes to dog grooming in dog grooming facilities. Why? Because they have no training, right? They have no training. So stop comparing what it is that I do to what you expect from an untrained dog groomer, right? The quality isn't there, right? There's no quality. Half the time, you're going to need to be handed back a cat that wasn't even bathed, still covered in dander, still covered in grease, right? Looks like shit, right? And all of that residue from after the grooming, if there is a haircut, all of that extra residue and loose fur, because they never washed the cat, guess where that goes? Straight down into your cat's intestine. I wonder how many cats have suffered internal hairball blockage shortly after grooming at a dog grooming facility because they don't understand the importance of washing cats, right? Nor do they have any clue how to work around a cat's stress levels or how to get that same quality that they provide to their dog grooming clients. You know how they know how to provide high quality grooming for their dog clients? Because they've received training for it. Do you think it's the same training for cats? No. Do they ask for that training? No. No, 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 no. Once in a blue moon, you might have a dog groomer say, you know what? I think I gotta get some training. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Once in a blue moon, you might see that happen. But it's not the norm, right? You've all been behaviorally modified to expect this when it comes to your cats being groomed, right? When it could be this, right? Turn this around slightly. Alright, so who knows what this is? It'll cost you about $6. It's invaluable, especially when you're washing a full-coated long haircut. It's a beeps brush, 250 little raised nibbies, and it helps to keep your cat's coat from tangling up, right? It's a great wet tool. Getting these knots out of your cat's coat before you take your cat out of the bath might not be a bad idea, folks. You needed it. Now with this particular tub, there's no drain. So there. Now we're gonna make you go that way. He's like, I'm scared. You don't need to jump. But you do need to do something. So that's scared. That's it. That's it. Little cooperation, please. He's like, you're trying to drown me. You're not. Just need a little cooperation. Not a whole lot, just a little. Just a little. Thank you. All right, where is it? Here it is. You're doing it. It's like, good boy. You did it. Alright, turn over. You did it. Good boy. Yay. You look and smell marvelous. Like washing a horse. Or a little mini pig. Or medium-sized dog. Oh my God. Turn you around. Turn you around. Little cooperation. He's like, nah. You did it. Good, Lottie. Good, Lottie. Waka waka. He's like, I did it, Ma. You smell like fish. You smell like fish. You saw how he was moving around, exerting himself? Yeah. When a cat this obese does that, he might start to exert himself, so yeah, you don't want him doing too much of that. You did it. You did it. Wait. He does not like me rinsing off the top of his head, so we're going to show you a technique to try to help facilitate that. There. Good, laddie. Now, his dryer box is 2 feet away from the tub, so I'm just going to yeet him 2 feet that way, right into the dryer box. Ready, steady, here we go. use a little forward momentum. Oh, keep that door open. Alright. There we go. Good boy. There. Waka waka. Alright, so this is one big drying box for cats. That is the exhaust. So it sucks air out. And then over here is where, on this side is where the air comes in. So you got air coming in and air going out. So it keeps the temperature regulated and it keeps all the dampness going out, right? Normally I would towel wrap a cat. But someone his size, yeah. Wee. Put a little warm air on. Alright, let's get rid of that. See if we can turn him around. Section back on, you guys can have at it. About 15-20 minutes. Have fun with that and have at it. Comment section is on, right? I didn't. Like I said before, any false statements, you will be banished. No, he's not. Look at the title of the video. What does it say? What does the title say of the video? It says PT324. That is not gabapentin. Any more false statements and you will be banished forever, permanently, the same. Cat is not dry. You don't know anything about cat grooming, right? My hands, my fingers will tell me when the cat is dry, right? How the hell are you supposed to feel whether the cat is dry? From watching from your phone. How the hell are you supposed to know that? Okay, like I said before, any more vile misrepresentation, false statements, and you will be banished. about it. Someone was asking what's PT324. Alright, so PT means pre-treatment by the owner, right? 324 is the name we give to the all natural. The alphabet is the key code, right? So just align 324 with the alphabet, you'll understand. Anyway, 324, he got that from his owner about 4 o'clock this morning. And then he got another one right before he left the house, right? So the owner did like a layering of it. It's oil, right? Been available on the market for 6 years now for cats, right? 6 years. The reason why you don't know about it is none of your vets are allowed to talk to you about it. Why? For no other reason than the DEA has gotten involved. They have muzzled every vet across the country from talking about something called the leaf products. And 324 is part of that. 324 is a part of that leaf product family, right? Even though there's no THC in it, somehow the DEA got involved, right? Hello. 324 is probably one of the most perfect companions for helping, not cats at high stress levels, but cats who are maybe a little uncomfortable, right? Waka. Now, we're going to get you on your side, if we can. I have a bed. I don't know if he needs the bed. I'll probably get the bed. Yeah, I'll get the bed. It makes for easier and more comfortable. Got a couple of add-ons, right? Now this isn't just a regular pet bed. Nope. This is a very big supportive bed for cats like Zuri. See if we can get him comfortable. He's getting all nervous. He knows what's coming next. He's getting his butt shaved. He's getting his paws played with. You know, all the things like he just doesn't really like too much. So, see if we can get him on his side. Wham. There. So the add-on request from the owner is a belly shave, perfect paws, and pretty panties. But because he's a boy, we're going to call it Glowing Commando, right? Yeah. Alright, so the belly shave starts with the underarm, the armpits, right? And then you just work your way down. Yeah. I'm looking for the old line. No. You're not flipping. There's no flipping in cat grooming. No. He's trying to flip out of this position. You're not flipping out of this. He's like, watch me. I'll do it. Zuri, why are you being a little shit? Is it the bed? You don't even like this bed? I don't know. Get rid of the bed. See, I got that bed, so I thought it would make it more comfortable. He's like, I'm not comfortable. Fine. There, put that on. Put a little bit of warm air. Alright, we'll turn it off. Listen, you little shit. You're getting down. And you're gonna like it. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna like it. He's like, I'm not liking it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. There. If the cat is acting up and being all over the place like what Zuri's doing, you know what that means? That just means you're doing it wrong. It's not the cat's fault. They're trying to tell you you're doing it wrong. If you choose to ignore that and you don't change how you're doing it, that's on you. It's not the cat's fault. He's trying to tell me this is not how he wants this done. So what would be the only alternative? Lap grooming on a 30-pound cat? Yeah, let's try it. Let's try the lap grooming on the 30-pound cat. Let's see what happens, right? Is this the right technique for you? He's like, maybe. Because you're a big baby. Maybe. Any pre-treatment is done by the owner ahead of time before we come for grooming, right? It's not something we just hand out to our clients. It's something that we educate our clients about for them to do on their own at home, right? Because the start of the grooming, you know, getting your cat in the carrier, putting him in the car, it all starts at home, right? It would defeat purposes if you've already stressed your cat out to the max before they even get here. For what? For a groomer who has no legal right to be pre-treating any cats anyway. It's not legal, people. It is not legal. Unless the owner has given some kind of permission to that groomer. I don't know. Maybe. But it starts at home. Right, so you see how he's not reacting and he's not going wackadoodle? Why? Because I changed the technique and I found something that he actually likes, right? Cats are pretty clear communicators. They're going to tell you what they like and what they don't like. You choosing to dismiss or ignore that is on you, right? And then blaming the cat, yeah. I equate that to what happened to me at a nail salon. I was getting my toes done. I was getting a pedi, a mani and a pedi. Anyway, that lady, who has done probably thousands of pedicures in the past, took a really sharp instrument, dug it into my toe. I literally screamed because it was so painful, right? But so she stopped and she changed her technique. Why? Because I didn't like it. Can you just imagine when a cat is doing the same thing, but the human is ignoring it and dismissing it as they're, you know, advertising their spa services online to the public? It's bullshit, people. So you need to listen to the cat. They're trying to tell you. They can't speak English, right? But they can tell you in many other ways. They can tell you in so many other ways. He's not getting buzzed. He just had a beautiful long hair coat shampoo package, right? With a few add-ons, like a belly shave and perfect paws. A while. About 15 years, right? About 15 years, give or take. So, do you think I found the right technique for him? Oh, I think so. You think I'm going to add that to his grooming notes so I'll remember the next time he comes in? Abso-freaking-lutely. Why? Because he's a big baby. Believing the National Cat Groomers Institute when they said there wasn't a better way. So for the first 7 years of my grooming experience, I did get her done cat grooming to my high stress cat clients, meaning they were forced. Yeah, that was my worst experience, the first 7 years of my grooming, because I was a good soldier and listened to what was taught and believed them when they said there wasn't a better way. That was my worst experience. I wouldn't want to wish my first 7 years of my salon on anybody. And as I would force groom these cats, I was getting a pat on the back. Good job, from that organization, right? Bullshit. Anyway, I had to find out by accident 7 years into my cat grooming salon that gabapentin was available and being recommended by fear-free vets, right? And that is when I started to realize that there was a better way, right? And I questioned everything. I questioned everything I was taught and everything I was told. Yes, if you look at the Calming Cat Guide, which is in the link in my bio, themainlion.live, scroll down and look at the Calming Cat Guide. That has an 8-year compilation of 500 cat clients in our study with gabapentin. It also has the study on our 324, which we started a month ago. We're trying to get 100 cat clients on board with that study, right? And as we learn more about the 324, we'll add that to that link. It is a live link, right? So all of that information is listed in the Calming Cat Guide on how to work with high-stress cats. The first thing you need to do is determine whether it's panic or aggression, fight or flight, right? Once you determine which one it is, then you need to look at what the pre-treatment is, because it's a different treatment for pre-treatment for fight versus flight, right? Do your vets know that? No. Why don't they know that? Because they don't have access to enough studies, right? They don't know that. What a baby. What a big baby. You did it. Alright, last but not least, his favorite. I don't know whether we're going to be able to get this done in a way that he'll like, but let's just see what happens. We need him to cooperate just a little bit so we can do his pretty panties, which, you know, because he's a boy, we call it going commando. This is service request. What is that? It's a poop trail. If you were putting it on a dog, it would probably be referred to as a poop trail. So basically it's taking that sanitary clip in the back and taking it one step further and creating a pathway for the poop. That's why it's called a poop trail. So does that answer your question for whoever asked what was my worst experience? A little cooperation, please. Good boy. Okay. Alright, so we're going to scoop under his belly. For anyone who doesn't know how to do the 3-finger scruff, these 3 fingers, right? These ones. Hold on to something, right? Then that leaves you with these 2 fingers, right? What do you do with those? You hold the tail out of the way, right? We're clearing a path for the poop. If it was a girl, it'd be called pretty panties. Or if we're a boy, we'll call it handsome haunches, but I also call it going commando. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They were too stunned to speak. Hello. Alright, there you have it. Sort of. Let's do the dampness around his face and then we're done. Oh, we still gotta... Don't! We got one more add-on. We gotta taper his mane. Eat it, little one. You did. Yeah. I might be able to do it with the chunkers, but you probably want to use the thinning shears. It gives a much softer effect. There. All right, ready? Steady? We're going to just comb everything forward. Yeah, I've had a cat crush on this cat for a while now. There came a point where I actually thought I had fallen in love with him, which was very confusing for me because, you know, he's a cat. So I was a little mystified as to how that's possible, but I guess it's possible. So maybe I've had fallen in love with his soul. I don't know. It was strange. I didn't know how to wrap my head around it. All right, so this mane gets caught up in food, his mouth, all kinds of stuff. So this is the last add-on service request. Is to just taper that mane back, which the owner loved and said that was perfect. You did it. He comes from a Mainecoon cattery in Delaware on a horse farm. Yeah. Don't know the name of the cattery, but I'm sure I could track it down if I wanted to. All right, there you have it. Zuri the Mainecoon. Zuri means, I believe, Swahili for beautiful, right? Yes. Say goodbye to your people. That was the equivalent of a dog groomer doing, oh, I don't know, like a doodle. Those doodles that those dog groomers do take, what, 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes? Right, so it's almost the equivalent of that. But, all right, so I'll break it down. We started with Groomer's Goop to help lift the yellowing of his coat because of the oil that's causing the yellowing. The oil production causes yellowing, which stains the white of the coat. We did that, then we rinsed it out, and we did a degreasing shampoo with F&T and Filthy Beast. The two combined is Divine. It is the ultimate perfect degreasing shampoo. We rinsed that out. We then followed up with a optical brightening shampoo with ginseng violet called Le Pooch Bright. Left that in for 2 to 3 minutes. rinsed. We then did a submersive bath with Chris Christensen's Top Cat Volume Shampoo. Gave him a nice submersive shampoo bath. Rinsed him out. Finished with Pink Paw Paw Grooming Spray. And my favorite finishing comb is called the Piano. Okay, you can see why it's called a Piano. You might see something similar to this on Chewy's, but no, it's not the same one, because the one on Chewy's has a square and it's very sharp and it hurts your hands. This one is from Grooming Supply Warehouse. It's in the link in my bio, the mainlion.live. If you pull that up and scroll down, you're going to see this Piano comb. It's like 25 bucks. They also have a longer one. Okay. They also have cute little face combs. Grooming Supply Warehouse has some really nice combs to choose from, and it's all open to the public, right? Just order it anytime you want, right? Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We do have other groomings that will be going live, and then we just started our once a day live over on the other app, my favorite, Ticky Yucky is what I'm calling it. Yeah. That's around 5 o'clock. So if you notice that live streaming platform, the mainlion.live, that is a live streaming platform to provide live streams for owners so they can watch their cat being groomed. Or if they're using a pre-treatment, which 1 out of 4 cat clients is, it's a way to monitor the progress of that pre-treatment because the pre-treatment doesn't necessarily work the first time. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 visits before an owner can get that pre-treatment exactly where they want it to be to work for the cat, right? So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. All the best. Bye-bye. If you have any questions, say it now, because we're about to jump off. You want a 360? Okay, gotcha. Who said that? Red's Angler. Okay, we'll do that. Here we go. He is shedding. You're shedding. What's coming out of your mouth? What is that? That means I gotta lift him. We can't do both. We can't hold the phone and lift this cat. So let's do this first. And then we're going to do a 360. The next time he comes in, we're probably going to try the Pink Paw Paw Bling Bling to try to lift some of the heavy yellow staining that's happening at the base of his tail and in his haunches. We're going to see if that product works. Somebody wants a 360. Who was asking for the 360? Now, you see that sharp edge? How do you soften that? Use the thinning shears. 360, buddy. 360, buddy. Somebody wants to know. Inquiring minds want to know. 360, 360. There. Capiche? Good? Yes? Was that for you, Red Angler? All right. When you do that pretty haunches, pretty panties haunch, it has some haunches in the back, sometimes you're going to be left with some very sharp, hard cut lines, which can be softened up with the thinning shears. Turn that off. Oh, sorry. Duh. Hello. you're gonna cut into the natural fall of a cat's coat, yeah, it's tricky, right? So if you don't have a thinning shears, you're gonna get some very harsh, blunt cuts, right? Wow. Here we go. There we go. Yep. I fell for this guy years ago. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie. I do. He's like, really? Isn't that called bestiality? Well, duh. I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about just your aura. Right? I'm in love with you. You think I'm in love with his beauty or his energy? Anyone else just fell in love with this cat? Or is it just me? I've been in love with this cat for years. Like, to the point where if he goes to the vet's office, I get really upset and really worried about him, right? One time he went to a vet's office and they handed him back to his owner covered in urine and blood, and I lost my mind. I literally lost my mind. They extracted a tooth. He was put under sedation and he was handed back covered in urine and blood. Fuck that. That's bullshit. Alright, there you have it. There you have it. If you see any harsh lines, you're going to erase them with the thinning shears, or at least learn how to blend it a little bit better. Like I said before, if you're going to cut into the natural beauty and fall of a cat's coat, yeah, be prepared for some very ugly, harsh lines that don't look pretty, right? This thinning shears will kind of rub it out a little bit. You need it. All right, there you have it. Thank you so much. How old is he? He's 7 now. I wish I could meet him too. My life is now forever a bit, what? Knowing I can never meet this fluffy man. Oh, so you fell for him too, didn't you? Yeah, there's something about this dude. Zuri is his name, which in Swahili I think is beautiful, right? That's what it means. Anyway, thank you so much. All the best. We'll see you next time. And there's your 360. All right, bye-bye.